Hello and welcome to Dee Dee Blooms. I am showing you my Sarcochilus corner right now. This has been an exciting springtime for my Sarcochilus orchids. Almost all of them in this corner are in bloom. This is my patio that I grow a lot of orchids year-round out here. I have a few that I take in during the winter, not that many, but the Sarcochilus I keep outside year-round. They can handle super hot temperatures all the way down to even short bursts of freezing temperatures. Thankfully, my patio doesn't get to freezing, but it did come close a few times this winter. What I'm excited about, these Sarcochilus, this is my second year owning these. I got these all from, well, the majority actually, from Sunset Valley Orchids. I think there's possibly one in there I got from a different orchid vendor. And almost all of them have flower spikes. So here we are at the end of April. These are known to bloom around Mother's Day. And you can see one of the spikes here. Most of them have two spikes coming out. There's a spike. There's a spike. This one's reaching back. And they're just beautiful, smaller type orchids. They can grow bigger and bushy. And oh, this one's got another spike coming right down there. That's the second spike. This one, which hasn't been as strong as the others, doesn't have any spikes. That's okay, it can keep growing. There's a spike. This one's got a smaller spike next to it. Let's see, down here there's a spike. I think there's another, yep, there's another spike down there. Another spike, and that one, and then this one here has little greener spikes. Some of them are darker colored. I think that's gonna say something about the color of the flowers coming out. But again, I've had these for 2 years. A lot of them actually had just a few little flowers. They were new seedlings from Sunset Valley Orchids, and these orchids are known to be able to bloom at a very small size. So I'm very excited. It took 2 years to get to what I call spikomania, and so I'll take a second part to this video when it's in bloom. So again, right now this part of the video is being taken at the end of April. I think today is April 22nd or 23rd. Sorry, I forget which day it is, but it's a beautiful Sunday. And I have several indoors that I have been growing as well, and none of them are in spike. So for me, I have to grow them outdoors. It seems being outdoors through the cold winter, the hot summer, that's what they are happy with. And so yeah, next part of the video will have them blooming, or starting to bloom anyway. We'll see how this progresses. Stay tuned. Hello, and I'm back several weeks later from when I took the bud video, and almost all of them are in bloom now. I'm still waiting for one of them to fully open, but let's start taking a close look here. This one, I got some cobwebs. This one is my Sarcochilus Mischief Orange crossed with Sarcoparma Fran. And beautiful peach colored blooms. I just don't think videos do justice, really. See the back of them are speckled. So I have two beautiful flower spikes, and with these wonderful little bouquet flowing flowers here. They've been going for a few weeks now, and I know one of them is starting to go over. I haven't pulled that one out yet. This one might still be opening. So you can see little stripes or patterns in there. That's that one. And it's just the cutest little plant, and I know it'll get bushier with time. This next one up top here, this is the one that's starting to lose some of its flowers. This is my Sarcochilus iridescens PCP crossed with Sarco Sweetheart Speckles. And I got quite a number of growths in this plant. It's a bit more bushy. And this has some beautiful rose, yellow lip cap. I'm not sure what to call it, but very, very pretty. Very sweet. I can see why the name Speckles is in the title of this. I've already lost a couple of the flowers up here because they start, some it seems they start opening in the back, and others I've seen start opening from the tip. So that's that one. The second one to open for me is this one. It's got a pretty long flower spike, and it has started losing several flowers now, and it's more of a solid pink. This is my, let's see if I can pull it out a little bit. Sarcochilus Hero Extreme crossed with Sarcochilus Pass Multi Blush Pink. You could see a couple of the little blooms that are done. This has a lot of little growths as well. So it's a bushier plant for me at this point. Hopefully you can see the blush pink of it. Little variation. I'll bring this around. My skin is really dry. And so I've got quite a number of the pink with yellow variations. That one. Next is this one, which I really love that it was more forward facing with its blooms. I love the presentation of it better. And this one is Sarcochilus Need Orange Ripple crossed with Sarcochilus Taser WTO. I wouldn't necessarily call this orange. It probably has the possibility of it being orange, but the center of the petals and sepals are more darker pink, and all the edges are lighter pink. And the back is also very pretty, actually. Here's a really good look at the edges of the petals, contrasting the inner parts of it. Here we go. Here's a nice view of this. Oh, I'm shaking too much. Sorry. Let me turn this around. I guess that was the best view. Here's a little different view right here. Even the backs are, I think, are very pretty. Try to zoom in. Here we go. Like white, freckles. The back. Very pretty. Lots of growths on this one. Next, I'll grab down here. This is my Sarcochilus Secure Hot Dot crossed with Sarcochilus Dazzle Red Spot. Now most of these I purchased from Sunset Valley Orchids 2 years and 2 months ago. And this is really their first blooming for me. Wow, this is so pretty. Even the back again, you can see the backs of them. I still have another or actually a couple more buds left to open. I have some more buds on this side to open, and some of the flowers. Wow, I'd have to say this is gonna be one of my favorites. I really love that patterning, and it's also got multi-growth, so it's been doing real well. Let's see. Actually, all the ones growing out here are from Sunset Valley Orchids. I have a couple indoors, or is it 3? I think I have 3 indoors that were from different vendors. So I'm gonna stake this one up when I'm done filming this. This next one is, oh, it's a duplication of one we looked at already. Sarcochilus iridescent PCP crossed with Sarco Sweetheart Speckles. I don't know if you remember Speckles, but let's see if I can find it. Do they look different? I think it was the one way up top. Yeah, this is the same one. This is the same plant. Now this is starting to go over, but I could tell you it did not look like this one at all. This one is more freshly bloomed, but it hasn't changed that much, really, if at all. So wow, look at the difference in how the flower looks. I like both, so I'm glad I got I bought 2 of these by mistake. They're the G075. It was an error, but you know, I'm not going to throw away a plant, so I've just been taking good care of them, and what a wonderful surprise. And then the last one that's in bloom is here, off here to the side. Let's bring you back over here. This is my, oh, let's see, it's got 2 tags. Maybe I could get the back one out. Yep. Sarcochilus Dragonfly Honey crossed with Sarco Roberta Favorite. It's got some really good growths. Real happy with this one. And this is one of the newest ones to start opening. Very pretty orange marmalade-y look. And with some contrast in each flower. This is a lot more lighter color in it than that first one, I think. And the backs are pretty paled color with some of the orange. Bring this up a little more. There we go. So pretty. I really enjoy Sarcochilus. I grow all of mine except for I have 4 indoors. The ones that have struggled for me, this one goes down here, I nurse inside. The ones that are doing fine, I keep out here, and I'm hoping the ones that I've been nursing will graduate eventually just to grow outside 100% of the time. Sarcochilus are from Australia, and they're very hardy, so they can take hot weather and cold weather. So and they've just been so easy for me. I have struggled with a few, and those are the ones inside, so it's not perfect. You've got to be careful when you're watering. You know, water can settle in all of these leaf joints, so you want to make sure when you water them that you either have good breezes blowing on them. If you're going to top water, like you could have strong fan movement if you are growing them indoors. but outside there's typically just good air movement, so I really don't have to worry about it. And I take a hose to save time, and I've just been watering them, even with the flowers. Oh, and before I forget, I have one more that's left to open. It had a second flower spike that it aborted right there. I'm not sure why, but something happened. And this is gonna be my Sarcochilus Taser Yellow RC crossed with Sarcochilus needs 7 spikes. So hopefully this will start opening soon, and I can add it at the tail end of this video of my Sarcochiluses. But I have this one that hasn't bloomed, my ruby pink red crossed with dip multi-pink heart, and the other one outside here, a real yellowy one, the high melba crossed with lemon one. Maybe next year, that's okay. They need more time, that's all right. So I keep them watered at least every 2 to 3 weeks in the winter. With the cold weather, you don't want any orchids being too wet, so I let them dry out really well. Then I give them a good drink, and I try to find warmer days to do that when I am watering anyway, so I strategize. And then I do fertilize a little bit, but not very much, maybe once every month, if that, in the winter time. They do need a good cold drop to spike though. So for me, this is one, if you grow inside year round, you're gonna need to open a window so that the cold night air reaches these plants. None of the ones that I'm growing inside, 2 are doing really well. They could have easily spiked and flowered, but they didn't have the cold drop. So what I've learned is that's a necessity here. Now others, maybe they're finding success in growing without having the cold drop for these, but so far my luck in getting them to bloom is they're outside. But like I said, or I showed you, I've got a couple that didn't. So for whatever reason, they weren't ready. But I look forward to these growing bigger, bushier, a lot more flower spikes, and future years having quite the show. They started throwing out their spikes, I want to say in late February, so through where the very first spikes I saw were late February, and then into March a lot more spikes started popping out, elongating. They started forming their buds through April, and then come May they really start little by little opening. It's a progression, and they're known also as like the Mother's Day orchids, because I guess there's a sporting event in a park not too far from my house, if you heard all that hooting and a hollering in the background. But so it's a progression. It's fun to watch, and that's why I filmed it from the beginning, just to show how things do progress for these orchids. They're very enjoyable. They will take up more space. They're all going to get bigger, but I'm hoping to fill this trellis with them. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I didn't comment on light. I'm facing east, and so they get this dappled light through the trellis. They were starting to get a little burnt. I had some burns happening, so I put up this extra shade cloth when the sun comes from the east and actually comes up this way. And so the sun would start directly hitting. So this protection has proved worthwhile. It's just a jury-rigged shade cloth. And yeah, and so they just get the bright light. Right now it's mid-afternoon, and the sun is way over on the west side now, and they just get this bright light throughout the day. Okay, well, if you've stuck it out this far, there might be a little snippet at the end here. If I can catch this next weekend a little more open, I'll throw that one in real quick. This is my last one that needs to open. But otherwise, if I end this, you know, thanks for watching. But hang in there a couple more seconds to see if I can show you that bloom real quick. Thanks again. Take care.